Well, I done went over to Iran and got me a Mauser rifle. Let's have a look at it. All right, launch a few rounds and we'll talk about this beautiful rifle here. Doesn't get much better than that. All right. Well, I was just kidding about going to Iran. I didn't go to Iran, but Iran came to me, all right? We got a really gorgeous Mauser rifle that we're gonna be talking about. These are more commonly known as Persian Mausers, and they were in use in the Iranian military. And it's really cool. This model number is the 98-29, okay? And they are made in Czechoslovakia in the Brno factory. So they were just commonly called Brnos. That was kind of their nickname back in the day, especially amongst the ranks of tribesmen and military guys back in the day in Iran. This was a very coveted rifle. Everybody wanted one of these rifles because they were just absolute tack drivers, super, super accurate, and just capable of a lot of great things. And of course, you know, the Brno factory makes some just beautiful rifles back in the day. I mean, you look at the old school Brno Mausers, these things are no different. Just beautiful fit and finish, absolutely gorgeous furniture, hardware. All the markings on these rifles are in Farsi, which is, I guess, Persian is what you would call that. Persian, Farsi, whatever. But all the markings are in Farsi on the entire gun. Now, I can't read Farsi, so I don't know how to decipher this, but I would imagine on the left side of the receiver here, what we're really dealing with is, you know, Brno. It's explaining the factory, where it's made, the serial number, those sorts of things. I can't read any of the markings, unfortunately, but I can tell though, looking at the markings, that this gun does match. So the bolt matches the receiver, and you know, you have capture screws that are apparent on the bottom of the action, and it's really a 98, you know, at its heart. But one of the interesting features of the Persian Mauser is the front sight post. Is a very unique front sight post with this large set of ears here that protects the front sight. The front sight is driftable for windage, okay? I've got the sight bottomed out on its lowest setting and I'm still having a bullseye to 300. These guns would come from the factory with a test target, and generally these things would print, you know, usually under 2-inch groups with irons, no problem at all. We're shooting M75 Hugo sniper ammo. This is a 196 grain match grade projectile, and this is surplus ammo produced in 1992 in Serbia. Really cool stuff. So we are shooting match grade ammo. I forgot to bring my stripper clips. That's okay. We'll just load them in single shot, but there is a stripper clip notch on the receiver to accept a standard stripper clip. And of course the thumb groove here to let your thumb clear when you're loading the stripper clip. It's a 5-shot box magazine. This gun is chambered in 8mm Mauser, obviously. That was a very popular cartridge back then. One distinct feature of these guns is the absolutely beautiful Persian Crest on the receiver. They are just, in my opinion, man, just for me, like one of the coolest crests that you could ever see on a Mauser rifle. They're just so cool. You've got a lion holding a scimitar with the sun rising behind him there, and you've got, I can't really see that so well, but you've got a crown right there and a wreath, a filigree and wreath around it. It's just a cool crest, you know. It's just not a very common Mauser crest, and the only other Mauser crest that I know that looks even nearly that ornate are the Mexican Mauser rifles. Have a pretty cool looking crest as well. But it definitely wins points for like the coolest looking crest on a Mauser rifle as far as I'm concerned. These guns are elegant. They've got great triggers, great sights, great hardware. They are definitely on the top end of the Mauser heap in terms of accuracy and fit and finish. And of course, they just really go to show what a really nice Czech-made Mauser can be. I mean, it's still a CZ, but it's just made for Iran. Now, later on, I want to say getting out of the 40s and getting into the mid-40s, these rifles were produced under contract in Tehran, in Iran. Okay, not this model to my knowledge. This is the original old school, the OG Czech model that was made in the Brno factory for Iran. They did produce this, like I said, on contract later on. They produced some short rifles. Okay, now this is more of a Gewehr 98 length, and you can see it actually has a Gewehr 98 sling attached to it, so it is a Gewehr 98 at its core. Remember, after World War I, a lot of Mauser rifles had to be made under contract in different countries. Germany could not produce weapons of war anymore. After Hitler became chancellor, he was like, screw that, we're going to do whatever the heck we want, and they started making them in Germany again. But for a long time, a lot of arms production had to be subsidized to different factories outside of Germany. So that's where that whole connection gets, you know, hey, it's a 98, it's just produced in Czechoslovakia in the Brno factory. And a lot of people really think that the Czech-made Brno service rifles are even better than some of the German counterparts. So take that for what you will. Now look, in the accuracy department, now I don't have like a ridiculous consistent point of aim on that big plate down there, but I mean, what kind of group we shoot there with the sniper ammo?
Oh, that was like probably 10, 12 inches.
Okay, so yeah, it can shoot better than that. Yeah, it can definitely shoot better than that. But not bad though, and this ammo is definitely the right food for the job. This stuff is great. I wish it was more common. This ammo is not common at all. It's very hard to get now, but we are going to shoot it and have some fun. I'll see if I can lob some more in here.
I mean, the sights, they're Mauser sights.
They're Mauser sights, and to be fair, it is a relatively crude front sight. It's just a big old V front sight and an inverted V-notch in the rear. So the sights are a little crude, but these guns are capable of some pretty dang good feats of accuracy if you take some time with them. I actually have never fired this rifle at all until today, so you guys are learning along with me. We're just taking this thing out to have some fun. This is the one that's been in the collection for a while, and we thought we'd take it out and have some fun with it. I'll try to take my time here, Chad, and I'm just going to bullseye the target.
Same target?
Yeah.
Okay.
Straight bolt mechanism. Pretty smooth throw on that. I mean, it's a 98 at its heart. I say smooth and I have to smack it. Wow.
Definitely in there.
Dude, it certainly is. You know, and this rifle almost has kind of a cult-like status in Iran, right? Even to this day, these things are used in prayer ceremonies. A lot of times when the prayer leader is leading his prayer and everything like that, usually he'll have a cane to help keep himself, you know, because they'll stand while he leads the prayer. And a lot of those guys are, you know, older gentlemen, and they're leading their prayer or whatever. Well, a lot of them will use a rifle as a cane, just, you know, because they love their guns over there. But this is a very much a ceremonial gun that is still used to lead prayer and things like that. These rifles are also still used in ceremonial purposes that the military uses, police cadets, you know, police graduations, military graduations, ceremonies, you name it. So still used in ceremonial use. And, you know, these rifles are still floating around out there. They're still very sought after, and it's a very well-respected symbol, right? For many people in Iran, they looked at this as sort of a symbol of oppression because of the regime. But then when there was like regime changes, right, and they would arrest, you know, the government folks and everything like that, well, what would they round them up with? You'd see pictures of guys armed with the Brno Mauser rifle. And unfortunately, the kind of dark side of it too is that you'll also see, you know, photos where, you know, they're pinning people to the execution block with bayonets with these things, okay? I mean, so It was definitely a tool of oppression and liberation for them. Just the historical side of it, okay, history is what it is, we can't change that. But certainly a very well-made rifle, and I can imagine at the time, Iran probably would have had, in terms of bolt guns, they would have had access to probably infield rifles in surplus, and they would have had probably several Mauser Nagants and things like that. So this was definitely a step up, I think. I mean, a high-class rifle. I mean, they were really fighting each other to get a hold of these things. I mean, gosh, just what a beautifully made rifle. I mean, you got these nice Farsi markings on the stock, you know, beautiful cartouche there. I mean, just really, really beautiful fit and finish. I mean, and this rifle's pushing 100 years old. So I think she's looking pretty good for 100. All right, take a few more shots here. All right, couple more rounds. I don't have a ton of ammo, and I also don't have a lot of time to do like a full battery of testing in terms of grouping with this particular rifle. I mainly just kind of wanted this to be a showcase of this rifle because not a lot of people know about the Persian Mauser rifles and the whole historical connection there. Really cool, and man, you can't go wrong with some M75 sniper ammo. This stuff is fantastic. I try to only bring this out for special occasions because this stuff is just great. And this rifle's really pitting the ace. I mean, it may not be shooting the best group in the world, but I'm definitely hitting that target. And you're talking 300 yards, open sights. I'm not exactly shooting slow. I'm trying to kind of talk and shoot, but man, what a what a great gun.
It is, man. I mean, the only other thing prettier is the Venezuelan.
Yeah, the Venezuelans are really pretty, and I have to say, I really like the Portuguese Figueiro as well.
Oh man,
That is such a light and handy rifle. I mean, we've done a lot of videos on different Mauser rifles on the channel, so make sure you check them out. I mean, we love Mausers, and I could make 250 videos just on Mausers. I mean, that's just how many variants of these things are out there.
You know, it may have just needed to get fouled in for that ammo, but that last group was...
Oh, about 6 inches?
Yeah. So.
All right, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna shoot 5 more. All right. Have I missed yet? No. Okay, all right. Well, if that tells you anything about the Persian Mauser, it's a bullet delivery device, okay? There is a story, okay, and I'm just gonna briefly mention this because stories are fun, right? And I'm not going to try to give exact dates because I'm not a wizard in that regard. I'm not prepared to give dates, but I will say there is sort of like a folklore in Iran of a female who grabbed one of these rifles in a firefight, and there was a sniper aiming at her. And the story goes, the word on the street is that she shot the round and it went down the other sniper's barrel and clogged his gun up and it blew up in his face. So you tell me if you think that's true or not. I think we know that's bullcrap. But hey, you know what? Sometimes folklore is just folklore. And you know what? We'll give her credit. All right, good on you to put that bullet down the sniper's barrel, okay?
Sounds like some redneck science.
She used this rifle.
Very interesting.
Yep. All right, couple more shots here.
Well, I guess you should have left good enough alone.
Oh, that's all right. I think we'll say that these guns are definitely capable of some pretty extraordinary feats of accuracy. Now, you know, I'm sure this gun will shoot better than I can shoot, and I'm sure if I spent a little bit more time and tried to shoot some tighter groups, we could probably get it to group tighter, but all in all, what a cool rifle. So guys, thanks for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed today's presentation. This has been the Persian 9829. Definitely an heirloom quality rifle. Wonderful rifle. Definitely want to take a moment to thank all the folks who support us on Patreon, those of you who purchase man cans, t-shirts over on the website. Thank you so much for supporting our efforts and seeing value in what we do. If you love these videos and you wish to see more and you wish to support us, those are the most direct ways you can do so. All right, I'm going to clean this corrosive ammo out and get this thing back on the rack, but thanks so much. We'll see you next time.